Okay. Good, Marcelo's here. There's a good Woch now. Rachel's coming. Very good. Okay. So let me have everybody in place, please. We're going to get started. I have a little echo on here. Here's Rachel. Yeah. Little echo coming through. Nice speaker. Check it out now. Does you have the same echo? No. There we go. That's it. No, I want to keep it dim. Yeah. Those of you who notice, I dimmed the lights. Okay, there we go. I would dim the lights. It is. We do the end of Shabbat, the weekday service. Very simple. I'm going to keep it very, very simple, and then come into our keynote program. I welcome everybody, whoever is online joining us. You're all welcome. And they're going to start with the weekday service, page 200, with the Baruch Hu. And so we please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch HaNevorach L'Olam Va'ed. And we run a very simple melody, very simple service. So we'll be seated. Baruch Atam Echalam Echai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Cholen L'Olam Va'ed, Baruch Adonai HaMari B'Aravim. We continue with the love that we have in the teachings of the Torah. Continue with the Shema, page 202. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod V'Chod Aved, V'Ahavta et Ne'echa B'chol Levacha, V'chol Nafshecha, V'chol Modecha, V'yod V'yimei Hashem. Shemecha, V'yim Shemecha, ויאמר למשה לאמור דבר בני ישראל ומטה להם עשו להם ציצית רק אפק בידם אני אדוני אליכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אליכם אמת. Page 204, we continue with the bottom of the page with the song of redemption at the shores of the Red Sea. Malchut Tov Ratzon Kiblu Alehem Moshe ובני ישראל לכנו שיר בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נראה בקודש נראתי לא צפל מלכותך רבה נחבקים לפני משה זה עליון ואמרו אדוני מלך לעבד ונאמר כי פת נרת יעקב ולא חזק ממנו ברוך אדוני גאל ישראל. Let's read the prayer for peace, page 207. Let's read this in English because God knows we need it. Help us, our Father, to lie down in peace and awaken us to life again, our King. Set over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and famine. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. You, O God, guard us and deliver us. Gracious and merciful King, guard our going and our coming. Grant us life and peace now and always. Praise you, O Lord, eternal guardian of your people, Israel. And we continue to the end of this section on page 208, the middle of the page. Continue with the Chatzi Kaddish and then the Amidah. We rise for the Amidah, page 208 and then 210. We continue that silently all the way to 220. And we add in it the verse for the conclusion of Shabbat on 212. יתקרב ויתקרש שמי רבה, ביומא דברך יהודתי וימליך, מלכותי בחייכון ומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגל הזמן קריב אמרו אמן, יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ומיה, יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ותרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתנעל שמי קודשא בריחו, לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמרם ביומא ואמרו אמן. Adonai Sefatayim Techmina Baruch Atane You may be seated when you have completed recitation. Continue with the Kaddish Shalem, page 222, and then we're going to go into the Tisha B Av mode with our readings and selections. Yikra v'yikra shemer haba, yomad divrach chirutei v'yem lichmachutei b'chayechonu v'mechonu b'chayrecho beit Yisrael, b'agalav zman kariv v'imru amein, yehesh merav u'vorach, le'olam u'memaya, yibarach v'ishtabach v'yipar v'yitramam v'yitnasei, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה דוש ברכתה ונחמתה דם ביום ביומה ואמרו אמן תקבל צלותם ואותן דחוי סרקן וענדי ושמע ואמרו אמן יהי שלמה רבו מן שמי וחיים עלינו ועל כל זה ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל זה ואמרו amen. You may be seated. Those who are joining us online. We are now starting into our Tisha B Av readings per se directly. We have dimmed the lights. I do have some readings. I have 3 different readings if I can get volunteers for readings. There's 2 are short and 1 is long. Who wants to do we're going to start. Yeah. Carmen, you want to do a reading? No, not really. No, okay. I'll give you get the long one, okay? Yeah, that one. Yeah. You want to read something? In English, this one. And then I'll tell you when to read it, and somebody over here in the middle of the page, and I'll tell you when to read it. Okay. So we'll just pass around the microphones when we get to it. Yeah, we're going to start the presentation. Go ahead, please. So we can follow. Everything is going to be up on the screens in front of you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Share screen, yeah, the whole. Okay. And in the mood of Tisha B Av, this is from Verdi. Carried off to captivity. So that is how the Italian composer Verdi we've done the floored after, so it's like that, I can't say. So, but he gives the great mood of despair. There you go. That's it. Okay. You get the great sense of despair that comes through in his music. These are the exiles that have lost the beautiful city and the beautiful temple, the wonderful temple in Jerusalem, the heart of the people, and carried off into a foreign land, a strange land. Carries it off very well. And so now we're going to go to selections from Echa, and there's some readings in between, as is traditional on Tisha B Av, the readings for Echa. And traditionally, you would actually sit on the ground and have only very minimal light, as if one, remembering, one is in a state of mourning, a state of shock. And so we try to relive that atmosphere. So I'm going to chant a line, if we bring that up on the screen, and then if there's a line in, chant the Hebrew, you can follow the English after me. Lamentations, attributed to Jeremiah. It is somewhere around the time of the destruction of Jerusalem. It is a language similar to that of Jeremiah and hence that attribution. And I'll chant, and as I say, read a line after me, Hebrew and the English. Echa yashvad badad ha'hir rabati aham hayata ke'amana rabati bagoyim sarati bamdinot hayata lamas. In the English, alas, lonely sits the city once great with people. She that was great among nations has become like a widow. The princess among states has become a thrall. B'cho tivke b'halayla dimata alechayeha ein la menachem mikol haveha korea bagduba hayula le'oyevihim. We continue. Bitterly she weeps in the night, her cheek wet with tears. There's none to comfort her. Of all her friends, all her allies have betrayed her. They have become her foes. Galata Yehuda me'onihi mirov avoda yeshva bagoyim lo matza manoch korofei siguha ben hamitzarim. Judah has gone into exile because of misery and oppression. When she settled among the nations, she found no rest. All her pursuers overtook her in the narrow places. Dachei Tzion avelot Mibli Baim Oed Kosare Shomemim Koanehanenachim Betulateha Nugot Bihimalaha. Zion's roads are in mourning, empty of festival pilgrims. All her gates are deserted. Her priests sigh. Her maidens are unhappy. She is utterly disconsolate. Ayu Tzareha L'Roshayveha Shalu Kiaranoi Hoga Arof B'Sheol Aleha Achushevi Lifnei Tzahar. Enemies and other masters of foes are at ease, because the Lord has afflicted her for many transgressions. Her infants have gone into captivity before the enemy. And we go now into the psalm that is attributed to the exiles. Verdi built his piece around that psalm, Al Naharot Bavel, and it's that psalm that we have the line that we chant or recite at weddings, Im eshkechechi Yerushalayim tishakachim. If I forget you, O Jerusalem, forget my right hand. May my right hand lose its cunning. And so this is by the waters of Babylon. This is Salmo de Rassi, a composer, 1700s, one of the first composers of formal Jewish music in the classic Baroque and the classic era. By the waters of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. So go ahead, then we're going to start that.
Sham Yasham שאלונו שובנו עברי שיר ותוללינו שמחה שירו לנו משיר ציון איך נשיר את שיר אדוני על אדמת ניכר אם אשכחך ירושלים תשכח ימיני תדבק לשוני לחיקי אם לא אזכרכי אם לא אעלה את ירושלים על ראש שמחתי.
So, very interesting. There we go. Okay. He made the pacing of the music match the words. So, if we can get the screen back up, I'm just going to show you. There we go, back to the shared screen. There we go, 137. Can we enlarge the screen now? Full screen. I see, I get a small screen somehow. Okay, there we go. So, line 3, and our tormentors ask us of mirth, where he suddenly picks up the tone to give the sense that they're smirking, the tormentors are smirking. And then the chorus replies, how should we sing the song, the Lord's Song in a Strange Land? Okay, we go ahead now. We continue now the readings on the screen share. Oh, Judy has joined us. Welcome, Judy. Yeah, screen share again, the page. Bring us back to the page. Yeah, stay on the page. Yeah. There we go. Okay, good. And so we continue now. There we go. We're going to continue now with the line by line. Echa ya'iva po Adoni et bat Zion השליך משמיים ארץ תפארת ישראל לא זכה הדום רגלה ביום אפו. Alas, the Lord in his wrath ashamed for Zion has cast down from the heaven to earth the majesty of Israel. He did not remember his footstool on his day of wrath. Bila Adonai lo chamal eko neot Yaakov haras be'evrato mifzarei bat Yudah higel la'aretz chilel mamlacha v'sareha. The Lord has laid waste without pity all the habitations of Jacob. He has raised in his anger fair Judah's strongholds. He has brought low in dishonor the kingdom and its leaders. Gada b'chari'af kol keren Yisrael heshiv achor yemino mipnei oyev v'yavar b'Yaakov k'eshlav achla saviv. In blazing anger he has cut down all the might of Israel. He has withdrawn his right hand in the presence of the foe. He has ravaged Jacob like the flaming fire, consuming on all sides. Narach kashto ke'oyev nitzav yemino ketzar ve'arog kol machmedei aven ayin bat Zion shafach kesh hamato. He bent his bow like an enemy, poised his right hand like a foe. He slew all who delighted the eye. He poured out his wrath like fire in the tent of fair Zion. Heya Adonai ke'oyev bila Yisrael bila komoteha shichad mifsarav bebat Yudah ha'aniyah ve'aniyah. Lord has acted like a foe. He has laid waste Israel, laid waste all his citadels, destroyed her strongholds. He has increased within fair Judah mourning and mourning and moaning. We continue now. This next reading selection. Keep the screen up. Keep the screen up. Yeah. Keep the shared screen up. Yeah. And I have a reader for this one. It says Yeoman 95. And get it to somebody. Yes, yeah, Joe, go ahead. Good. Wait, Joe, just wait 1 second.
Need that. Okay. Number 95. Why was the first temple destroyed? For their matters, I don't worship the for forbidden sexual relations and bloodshed. However, during the second temple, people were engaged in Torah study, mitzvah, and acts of kindness, and they did not perform they did not perform sinful acts at the first temple. Why was the second temple destroyed? It was destroyed because of Saint Hinnom wanton groundless hatred. This comes come to teach you that the sin of wanton hatred is equal to our severe transgressions, idol worship, forbidden sexual relations, and bloodshed.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Jerusalem was destroyed on account of Kamsa and Bar Kamsa. There was a certain man whose friend was named Kamsa, and whose enemy was named Bar Kamsa. He once made a large feast and said to his servant, "Go bring me my friend Kamsa." The servant went and mistakenly brought him his enemy Bar Kamsa. The man who was hosting the feast came and found Bar Kamsa sitting at the feast. The host said to Bar Kamsa, "That man is the enemy of that man. That is, you are my enemy. What then do you want here? Arise and leave." Bar Kamsa said to him, "Since I have already come, let me stay, and I will give you money for whatever I eat and drink. Just do not embarrass me by sending me out." The host said to him, "No, you must leave." Bar Kamsa said to him, "I will give you money for half of the feast. Just do not send me away." The host said to him, "No, you must leave." Bar Kamsa then said to him, "I will give you money for the entire feast. Just let me stay." The host said to him, "No, you must leave." Finally, the host took Bar Kamsa by his hand, stood him up, and took him out. After having been cast out from the feast, Bar Kamsa said to himself, "Since the sages were sitting there and did not protest the actions of the host, although they saw how he humiliated me, learn from it that they were content with what he did. I will therefore go and inform against them to the king." He went and said to the emperor, "The Jews have rebelled against you."
Act of enmity for no purpose, of shaming publicly, disgracing someone, that led to the downfall and destruction of Jerusalem, to the exile of the Jewish people, an exile that lasted 1,800 years and more. We continue now, readings, chapter 3. Going to read that again, Hebrew and English alternate. Ani hagever ani bashevet evrato. I'm the man who has known affliction under the rod of his wrath. Oti nahag vayole choshech velo or. Me he drove on in unrelieved darkness. Ach bi yoshev yapoch yado kol hayom. On none but me he brings down his hand again and again without cease. Gam ki ezak v'ashavea satam tfilati. And when I cry and plead, he shuts out my prayer. Gadar darchi begazit v'netivotai iva. He's walled in my ways with you and blocks. He's made my paths a maze. Dov orev huli aye bamistarim. He's a lurking bear to me, a lion in hiding. Drachai sorer v'yapashcheni sameni shomeim. He's forced me off my way and mangled me, has left me numb. Okay, we have the third reading.
I have heard from one of the elders of Spain of a Jew exiled from Spain, whose wife and son died after being forced ashore in an inhabited place by the captain of the ship in which they have fled. And his own heart-rending exclamation to God, Master of the universe, how do you much to induce me to leave my religion? But know well that, notwithstanding the contrary designs of the heavenly host, I am a Jew, and I shall be a Jew, and nothing that you have done or will do to me can prove otherwise.
So we continue now with our readings. Zot ashiv elibi al kein ochil. But this do I call to mind, therefore I have hope. Chazdei Adonai ki lo tamnu, ki lo chalu rachamav. Kindness of the Lord has not ended, his mercies are not spent. Chadashim la bekarim, rabba emunatecha. They're renewed every morning, ample is your grace. Helki Adonai amra nafshi al kein ochilo. The Lord is my portion, I say with full heart, therefore I will hope in him. Tov Adonai lekovav la nefesh tidrasheno. The Lord is good to those who trust in him, to those who seeks him. Tov yachel domam lichuat Adonai. It is good to wait patiently till rescue comes from the Lord. Tov lageber kisao binu rahav. It's good for a man when young to bear a yoke. Yeshev baydad v'idom kinatal alav. Let him sit alone and be patient when he has laid it upon him. Ten ba'afar pihu ulai yesh tikva. Let him put his mouth to the dust, there may yet be hope. Iten l'makeo lechi izba bechepa. Let him offer his cheek to the smiter, let him be surfeited with mockery. Lechi lo yiznach leolam Adonai. For the Lord does not reject forever. There's that belief that whatever has happened to us would not be permanent, would not be final. That kept us going. Those words from Echa, right in the middle of Echa, put in there to remind us in the midst of our sorrow that there was the ability to come through and wait with hope. And we continue here, this beautiful poem, and the words, let me have the words up for a second, composed by Nurit Hirsch, an Israeli songwriter, sung by Sivan Karen. Tzion Halo Tishali is one of the classics of the Tisha B'Av liturgy. Tzion Tisha Halo Tishali l'shlom asirayich doshe shlomech v'hem yeter adarayich. And I'll just pull up the English from the bottom quickly, a little bit further down, so you'll see. Zion, will you not ask after the welfare of your prisoners who seek your welfare and are the remnant of your flock? From east and west and from the north and south, the welfare of those far and near, inquire from all of your sides. Welfare of the prisoners of hope, who shed tears like Hermon's dew, and yearns for them to descend upon your mountains. Crying for your suffering, I am a jackal. When I dream of the return of your captives, I am a harp for your songs. And that word, that last line, I am a harp for your songs, Jerusalem of Gold, Naomi Shemer, 1967, when Jews were once again able to set foot inside Jerusalem, the old city of Jerusalem. Right? She knew this line from Tzion Tishali. So, Nurit Hirsch, composition, Halot Tishali, Tzion Tzion.
דורשי שלומך, והם יתר עדרייך. מים ומזרח ומצפון ומתימן, שלום רחוק וקרוב שאי מכל העברייך, ושלום אסיר תבה נותן דמעיו כטל חרמון, ונכסף לרדתם על הררייך. לבכות ענותך אני תענים, ואת אחלום שיבת שבותך אני כינור לשירייך, אני כינור לשירייך. ציון הלא תשאלי לשלום אסירייך, דורשי שלומך והם יתר עדרייך. אשרי מחכה ויגיע ויראה, עלות אורך ויבכעו עליו שכרייך, לראות בטובת בחירייך ולענוס בשמחתך, בשובך אלי קדמת נעורייך. לבכות ענותך אני תענים, ואת אחלום שיבת שבותך אני כינור לשירייך, אני כינור לשירייך. ציון הלא תשאלי לשלום אסירייך.
Just as a little bit of background, the author, the great rabbi and poet and philosopher Yehuda Halevi, who also wrote, my heart is in the east and I am stuck here in the west in Spain as far as you could go away, captive, Zion captive in the chains of between the Christians and the Muslims, and I am stuck here. And like so many other Jews, both before and after, tried to make his way to the land of Israel. And as in so many cases, as he got there, the way was blocked. The story is that he made his way into the old city, got to the gates of Jerusalem, and was run down by a horseman there, one of the Arab horsemen. And so that was the problem, right? When people complain, well, but I haven't been in the land of Israel for so many 1,800, 900 years. It's because nobody let us back in. We were blocked consistently. And so we have a right to our return. We continue. The last chapter, reading from the last chapter. We put the words up again. The ending. And again, verse by verse. Taronai l'olam teshev kisacha ledor vador. But you, O Lord, are enthroned forever. Your throne endures through the ages. Lama lanetzach tishkachenu tazvenu leorech yamim. You have forgotten us utterly, forsaken us for all time. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kehedem. Take us back, O Lord, to yourself, and let us come back. Renew our days as of old. Gima osmastanu kasata leinu ad meod. For truly you have rejected us, bitterly raged against us. Repeat the last line once again. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuvu chadesh yameinu kehedem. Take us back, O Lord, to yourself, and let us come back, renew our days as of old. And so that line is repeated. We never end a reading on the down note. We always end on the up note. The up note. Hashivenu neilecha v'nashuva. Bring us back to you, and we'll bring back to you. We'll bring ourselves back to you. And so that marks the ending of the selections from Echa. And now, as I say, always on the up note, going to go to Anima Amin. We have the words here, and we're going to sing it together. Anima Amin be'emunah shlema beviat hamashiach. Anima Amin. The words are on the page there. Back up here. There we go. Yeah. And the idea, this is the theme that has kept us going. All right, the song also in the ghettos during the Holocaust, Anima Amin, as dark as it was. We believe in Mashiach, the idea of the Messiah, the idea of a redemption of the people of Israel, a redemption of the Jewish people and the world in peace. Together, we'll sing together. Anima Amin, Anima Amin, Anima Amin. Be'emunah shlema beviat hamashiach beviat hamashiach ani ma'amin ani ma'amin ani ma'amin ani ma'amin be'emunah shlema beviat hamashiach, beviat hamashiach ani ma'amin. Ve'af al pi she'yitmamea im kol ze achakeh lo. Ve'af al pi she'yitmamea im kol ze achakeh lo. Ani ma'amin, ani ma'amin. Ani ma'amin be'emunah shlema beviat hamashiach beviat hamashiach ani ma'amin. Okay, now that concludes the readings for tonight. We're going to mark now the end of the service. There's no formal Havdalah. We would normally just do only the blessing over the light. So I don't have a candle, but we have the light. And we'll say on the light, Baruch Atanu V'cholam Borei Mi'or Ha'esh. That's it. All the rest of the Havdalah postponed till tomorrow evening, because that's a real celebration, and we're not celebrating. We are commemorating at this point. And so we continue with Aleinu, and then we'll have the final Gemorah's Kaddish. Page 224. Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, lo teikru le'etzei breshit, shelo asanu kirei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpchot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kocha amonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim, u'modim, lifnei melech machem lachim hakadosh baruch hu, shunzeh shamayim v'yoser aretz, moshav yikaro b'shamay mima'al, Ushkinatu Zabeof, Heimeromim, Uelaheinu Enod, Emet Makenu Efesulato, Kaktu Vatorato, Viadata Yom Shivot Elevabacha, Ki Adonai Elim Bashamai Mima'al, Valaras Mitachat, Ein Od. I can't get it. Venemar B'Haid Mecha Kol Oretz, V'Yomod Echad, Ushmo Echad. And we conclude with the Morning's Kaddish. We have in our thoughts and mind those loved ones passed away in this year, and those whose yahrzeits are this year, but also those, the martyrs of our people throughout the centuries, who gave their lives deciding to remain Jewish when it would have been so easy to just blend in with the great masses, and decided, above all else, as the writer Ibn Varga wrote, the Spanish exile, no matter what happens, God, I'm going to be a Jew. I still will follow you. Even if you don't want me, I still will follow. Kaddish, Monas Kaddish, is our declaration of independence as Jews in the presence of God. Yitkadal, Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Bi'amad Yivrach Yirutei, Bi'amlich Malchutei, Chayechon, V'yamechon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agalav Izman Kariv V'imro Amen, Yesh Mei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam U'Lemer Maya, Yibarach V'yishtabach V'yipo'ar V'yitrama V'yitnasei V'yithadar V'yit'aleh V'yithalal Shemei Dekudsha Berichu Leila Min Kol Bir Chata V'shirata Tush B'chata V'nechemata Damram V'yama V'yamain Yesh Lama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'akoyse V'yamain Ose Shalom B'imramav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'akoyse V'imru Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens above, where the planets and the stars and the comets all manage to work together. May that one, Holy One, create peace upon us and upon all Israel and upon all people down here on earth. And let us all say, Amen. Amen. So, go ahead, yes. Became what? A liturgy? You mean as a formal service to itself? We would assume sometime after the destruction. It's already after the first temple. We have this description of the fasts, series of fasts that are associated with the temple. And it is in, he says, I shall turn the fasts of the 10th, gives the fast by the days, the 7th, the 3rd, the 7th, the 10th, and so on, the 9th, and so on, by the months of the year in the numerical order. And recalling then already, and it's escaped me which one it is, I can't remember, recalling already the fasts that are in that time after the first temple was destroyed, and with already within the return, and then hoping to turn it around. Then with the second temple, it was made very clear and obvious and defined that that's it, we're sick, and then we lost Beitar, and then to hammer it in, also the Spanish expulsion from Spain, also the edict was set for Tisha B Av. I don't know if the Queen and the King of Castile and Aragon did it intentionally, but it fell on that date, the same date that Columbus was to set sail, or wanted to set sail. So, but with the formalized liturgy itself, I mean, it was certainly Echa, we know somewhere from that period, we can't specify exactly when, and so that became into the format, then certainly in Mishneh, Talmudic times for sure. All right, so now if that's it, then we conclude. You don't say shalom, we don't say good night, because it's not a shalom. You don't just feel shalom, and the morning comes, and the next day comes, the sun rises again, and then the sun sets, then we can have shalom. So to everyone,